Welcome back to SYL TV. I'm your host, Adam Murphy. I'm here with Charlie Golsky, as always, Drew Bachman, and special guest from the Fastest 2 Minute, Big Cat.
Yeah!
Really good to see you, pal.
Happy you can make the flight. Travel good? Any weather delays or anything?
No issues. I mean, I'm pretty local overall, but coming from out of town this week, so not too bad.
How the kids doing, man?
My kids home.
Family's good? Everyone's behaving themselves?
Everyone's great.
Little ones not causing too much trouble?
There's losing some sleep every once in a while. Nothing right home about.
Part of the game.
Sure. Well, we're here at the beautiful Lakota East Thunderhawks Ox Gym, and a little bit of upgrade of scenery. Obviously, maybe a little echo, so we apologize for that. But we got some comfy chairs, some good scenery, and we had a little warm up for the SYL TV. We put a little shooting, and we need the viewers to decide. We decided the best 2 out of 3 game. Charlie and Drew won the best 2 out of 3. We continued. Me and Big Cat 1 out of 5. Viewers decide who won out of them. 3 out of 5. Excuse me.
And if I could add, originally going into
it was 2 out of 3.
the only thing I had heard was best 2 out of 3.
Oh, really? I thought it was always.
We mentioned how quickly a 2 out of 3 can become a 3 out of 5 can become a 5 out of 7. So
I'm just the type of guy, before I go into something, I like to know exactly what I'm expecting. But that's just me.
Some
you
say you just gotta keep playing the game. You gotta keep battling.
chicken situation.
Could be a durability problem. We've seen in the past.
And maybe that's what we're going to see in next week. We're here to talk about next week, so we won't go into too much about today. Maybe a little last week. How about Big Cat? Since you're our host, since you are new here, tell us about.
It's actually Team SYL TV. Drew
So
Bachman.
team 2.
Yeah, you're talking about your
So
co-host.
I got a great preview into what we're going to see tomorrow. I got today. Obviously, we mentioned the 2v2 game. We got 3 of the 4 guys here. We got our team 2 star. I don't mean to overstep.
Absolutely.
Drew Bachman really put me in the blender today. Played some really good ball. Charles, we all know about Charles. He's hot, he's cold. Some games he's hot, some games he's cold. And I think he's really going to be the X factor for that team. How's this shooting night going to be? Because he's going to draw maybe some third defenders on him. And is this really going to be the Charles that we see the highest potential of him, or could it be maybe he gets in his own head a little bit, maybe he doesn't shoot the rock as well as he usually wants to? Obviously, we saw Big Ad, 24 points last week.
Leading scorer, I believe,
our leading
correct, yeah.
scorer. I mean, if you are put on that team with him, you gotta love what he's doing, especially as maybe a number 2 option. You gotta love what he's doing. You gotta love the week he's having. And another thing I'd like to mention, we got the All-Star game, right around the corner. Everybody's trying to bid for some votes, get their stats.
Go vote, fans. Go vote.
Go vote. Make sure you go vote.
And vote, very important.
Yeah. SYL.vote.com. But yeah, so Adam played really good ball last week, and you gotta love that addition to your team. A team that when you're the captain, I don't mean to be stepping on your toes here, but they're not getting the victories that you.
It's
really
just the
think
facts,
they should
Cat.
get.
I don't mean it as a slight at all. I don't take it as a slight at all. But I love the supporting cast that I'm doing this week. We have 2 knockdown shooters, 2 guys that you can't really help off of all that much. You give them a step, maybe. But if these 2 guys are having good games, you can't give them a step at all. You guys take with them the entire time. So I like being able to get to the rack, not see a lot of help. If I do see help, open 3, and I like their chances with open 3s and 2 guys sitting on the right.
You gotta love support cast. Probably the best support cast that you've had this year. And I also like to mention you got 3 board members on your team. I haven't even talked about our commission, Logan Hutton, what he brings offensively, the screening and his touchdown low. I mean, I know you guys played a lot of basketball together, especially a couple weeks. Maybe you haven't found the most success, but I think he got the supporting cast for him to thrive in a role for where he can feel comfortable.
Absolutely. I feel like our chemistry the last 2 weeks has drastically improved. I remember the first week playing with Logan. We just couldn't really find our footing. Everything kind of felt choppy. There wasn't a lot of offensive flow. I felt like last week especially, we were able to find our groove, especially in the pick and roll game. Me finding Logan on a roll. Now, there's obviously times where I missed him a couple times and either threw an errant pass or just missed the pass and didn't see him open down the lane. But I feel like we're starting to hit more on those opportunities. We're starting to really play off each other well. And then the other piece of that too is Logan screening for these 2 guys off ball is going to be tough to defend. Really good screeners. Sometimes uses the gray area to
Maybe
his
too
advantage.
good. Maybe too good.
Sometimes maybe too good of a screener. You know, that's always been a conversation with some of Logan's offensive game, but
Someone at the Stones to call that. That's the
exactly the off-ball foul and pickup. It's
It's interesting. It's a gray area. You know?
It's like he's wide, but nobody's that wide.
right, right.
I know you're a host. I don't mean to, take over here, but I just wanted to get your guys' opinions. I know you've played with Drew a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
Have you had the opportunity?
I have had the opportunity.
So, but now you're together. What do you feel like you two add to Team 2 and the roles that you could be playing along?
Well, first off, obviously Drew's had a good supporting cast throughout, and I'm just hoping that we can provide him with a little more space. A little more ways to where he can find his game, and maybe we're
Work off the elbows.
yeah, and then we're kind of drawing people less, like they're not helping as much, so Drew can find his game. We're playing off Drew and just kind of really just supporting him. So maybe we're hitting some shots, and then they fear helping. That's where Drew can really shine. So kind of finding his groove that way, and and honestly, just not to drop the ball defensively. I think we're not all around. We're not a very good defensive team.
No, I'd say we're below average.
We're not.
I'd say it was definitely the worst
it's
defensive
safe to
team
say.
going in. Obviously, I've lost a step, and I mean,
I never had a step to begin with.
and so matching up defensively is going to be a problem. So we're gonna have to hit some shots to keep up with that. So
I really love what Drew said about the emphasis on him getting to the rack, drawing help, getting guys like us open. If we now are making shots, that's going to give him a lot more opportunities as a whole. So good offense like that gets some good passing going, and for sure should be good to go. For sure.
cool. Well, good analysis there. Now Charles, I know you wanted to give a quick shout out to the team you're talking about, Team 4.
I do, and in particular, I want to give a quick shout out to my guy Luke Metzger, top 10 the Ohio Amateur Championship last week. The SYL groups guys are multi-sport athletes. We're well-rounded individuals, and Luke's a shining example of that. I think his return is kind of the most important thing to talk about when it comes to Team 4. 2 weeks off. He probably had a long week in the hot sun up in Zanesville. How is he gonna, readjust and reintegrate himself into the flow of the game? Golf, obviously, a very individual game. Is he gonna have an individual mindset going in? Who could say? They look at a guy like Ryan. Just in that low block over there, the cat was spinning down low like he does. I was in a whirlwind. I wasn't able to handle it, and I don't know that many people can. I'm still looking for Cat to get down low and keep dishing the way that he is. Maybe get a couple more shots up. Sometimes I feel like maybe he's too passive of a scorer. So I'm looking for that in that direction. John Scott, a guy you're always looking for having a team, great rebounder, can make a couple frees here and there. Just an all-around, well-rounded player. And then Sammy J, I feel like he's a guy that maybe doesn't get enough credit for the role that he plays on certain teams. Talk about a guy that is a bruiser down low. He can get to the rack. Wrong Sammy. I'm thinking Sammy Abenauer. Sammy J can shoot the rock.
He can shoot the
That's
rock.
the guy that's going to shoot the rock.
I heard Bruiser down low, and I was like,
Hey.
We're not.
He actually has not shot a two.
I was like, I don't think he has
Hand
a
up
2-point
accountability.
penalty.
Hand up accountability. That's the guy that's going to shoot the lights out.
Fortunately, we are live, so we cannot cut that.
We cannot cut that. It's fine.
But
It's fine.
we make mistakes here at SYL TV.
Absolutely. He's going to provide a little bit of spacing for that team. Maybe sit in the corner, making some shots, popping out, making some other ones. So, that's the plan for him and other Team 4. I think we're good.
I mean, yeah, this is a team where Ryan can just lead, right? We got Sammy and Luke just being all-around shooters, and you got John, who Ryan's played with them as a center for a while.
Feels every gap
in the Wet Wizards. So I mean, Ryan's going to lead this team, and if he could live up, I mean, I know he's the number one option, but if he can live up to the Drew and the Tyler Bachman number one option, this team's going to be real hard.
I think this is my favorite going into the
I do. I mean, I don't mean to interject here. I think that could be a number one question. Supporting cast, I love it. I'm so excited, to be around these guys. But there's top 3 in the MVP race, and I don't think we have one of those guys on that team. We might have maybe five through eight, whatever you're going to call it. And so I like how well-rounded we are, but it's going to be it's going to start with me if I can get by these guys, because we have some pretty good defenders out here, and if I can get, I don't know what matchups we're going to go with, but there's some tough matchups that we got to guard as well.
I also think you guys pose a tough matchup for other teams as well.
For sure.
I can, just speaking for our team, you got three guys. The combination of skill and size with you and Metzger on the skill side, John and then Sam shooting the ball.
They're gonna have big legs for sure.
Yeah, you guys have good size, and it's just you got four guys that you can't really slack off of any one guy because they could hurt you.
I think
you just can't help two of them.
Right.
And if it's really three of them, because if you're helping off down low, it's just going to be I mean, we're John Drive, right?
I could be biased for my team, but I think this is really could be a week for John Scott to really, solidify himself as a really good option.
Could be an all-star week.
Could be an all-star week.
We're heading into that week where decisions
know,
have to be made. Some hard decisions have to be made about who's going to make the cut.
Sure.
This is a golden opportunity. If you guys go, say you guys go 5-2, 6-2, I think it'd be really hard to leave them all that valley.
Vegas has Ryan clear cut most assists.
Those odds will be out in the morning
for this week.
For all those
Absolutely, yeah.
Luke Donovan is right behind, giving the rock to the T-Bach
Yeah.
all the time, but we'll get into that a little bit. But
It's hard to bet against
the
shit.
but I think he's slammed as well. So to Drew,
Yep.
we're going to talk about Team 3 a little bit here. I would say this is probably. I mean, you got almost. I want to say you got 3 All-Stars on this team, and then some more that can just fill a role and maybe even sneak an All-Star game. Talk about this team.
Yeah, you have 3, I think, bona fide All-Stars to go along with. They actually have a sub on their team this week, which kind of provides them, I think, of a little bit of an advantage. A pair of fresh legs. Fresh legs are very important. Starting at the helm here, Tyler McDolan, the guy's been outstanding all year. I know he had a down week last week, had a tough supporting cast with him, and he also was dealing with a little bit of some shin splints, from my understanding. Not really able to get off his feet as well as he usually does. Says he's feeling a little bit better heading into this week, is my understanding. Kind of the reports from the doctors out there, feeling a little bit better. Should be able to have that explosive first step that we're so used to seeing, and as well as being able to elevate at the rim. So I expect to see him kind of get back to his usual form. And to go along with him, Nate Vondervaart, guy can just fill it up. All 3 levels, get to the rim. He shot the 3 really well consistently all year. Can be kind of a microwave from 3. Can really heat up and put in 3 or 4 if you're not careful. He can straight up win you a game. One of those guys from 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think Nate's getting enough credit for throwing the ball, especially as an unknown guy coming into the league, trying to establish himself.
Absolutely. Good ball handler too. Plays the pick and roll well.
He can ball on the floor.
Underrated defender too, because the length. He's not.
But hey, he's a Division I athlete, for Christ's sake.
I remember when he was on your team with Tyler. I mean, Tyler didn't have his best week. Tyler Rockman. He didn't have his best week that week, and I swear, you won a game, Nate won a game.
Yep,
I mean,
exactly.
That's the thing with the SYL. Is 3s are valuable. And
So
if you're not knocked out of
Especially
3,
you're playing a 9, it's just
2 to 1 with 9. Yeah, it's 3s are everything.
You can blink and it's 6-7 nothing pretty quick, and you wonder what the hell happened.
Yep. And the third guy on team 3, Sammy Abenow, who I had the pleasure of playing with the last 2 weeks, and just he's a teammate's dream, just because he's gonna bust his tail all game, every game. You never have to worry about any lack of effort or him not going after a rebound or picking his guy up on defense. None of that stuff at all. Then to go on top of that, he can shoot the 3, he can get to the rim. He plays really, really well in transition. I think Team 3 is a team that they're conscious about, and if they have the energy, they can get out and play a lot in transition because of the speed that they possess.
I would also like to see him have a 20-point week. I think he's got a lot of potential. He does a lot of things right.
Yeah.
But I think he could almost play a little too passive sometimes.
I agree.
Maybe not this week. We don't need you to have 20-point week this week. But if he's on my team, we'll have a little 20-point week.
Absolutely. He's more than capable of it. And then to kind of round out that squad, Josiah and Brendan, which I think are 2 great options in their own right. Brendan kind of gives you kind of more of that scoring, that shooting, kind of that outside shooting support, and then Josiah, defender, scrappy, really tough on ball, good rebounder. They kind of serve 2 different purposes. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're all used together, when they're used and the type of role that they come into. But I think it's a very well-rounded squad. I expect to see Brendan kind of gained some comfort this week as well. You know, coming off the ankle, obviously last week that was a big storyline. Honestly, thought he came out and played well. I thought he made shots. I thought he didn't look like he was hobbled at all.
Didn't look
really.
injured. Like
If we didn't know about the injury prior, I don't think I would have noticed.
If you didn't know, you wouldn't know.
He looked pretty good, so I expect him to take even another step up. Probably gain some more confidence with the shot making as well.
And I know my segment of the league is sponsored by ibuprofen. I don't know if that had a big, role, but I know for me it's.
How much are you gonna be taking tomorrow, Drew?
So I'm a four prior to type of guy, but we played a little bit tonight. I usually don't. I try to stay off my feet the day before, so I'm thinking we're gonna go at least 5.
How many milligrams is that?
3.5 over under 4 yen tomorrow.
I think they're 200 milligrams
I'm gonna go
each.
with the under.
You're gonna go
It's
with the
really
under.
dependent. Like I'm just gonna be sitting like this all day at work, and it just really depends on my back more than anything. But probably under still.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at 5 for sure. It could be 6. If I'm feeling throughout the day, it's gonna be a 6 type of day. You know, we gotta do what you gotta do. And
I'm on like those chewy Starbursts that you.
great snack.
Yeah.
Great snack.
Not sponsored, by the way. Sponsor us.
Should we move on to maybe an Adam Murphy dissection of
I
team
got
one?
just one quick point about Team 3, and it's just about the extra guy. And I feel like it's really hard to win 2 in this league, right? And that extra set of legs, when you get a fresh guy in there, when they come to game 2 and get a fresh guy, I just think it makes it a lot easier. I mean, you got a spark coming right away. It's like a 6-man. When he comes into a game, you have that instant spark, and you just have that full on, and see how that plays out.
I'd throw a question mark in there. If one of our subs, he subs in for maybe Nate Von Hart in one game, what does that do to their height? And what does that do to their matchups on defense? Obviously, Josiah's a great defender. I'm not going on that, but we got some big boys in there, maybe a couple overweight boys in there. What does that do to their size on the defensive end when one of the bigger guys gets
Well, this sub's not just a 1-2. This is like a full.
This is a full team. This is a
sub,
full
so they're
team,
gonna have
right,
to
to
learn.
mention.
They're gonna really have to
They're gonna learn to play
together.
together.
I agree. I feel like, maybe even, I don't want some personal experience, but I feel like, having that 5th guy, maybe you go have a big win and the vibes are high and you're feeling good about your game, and then like you're the guy that's coming off. One, I feel like that can cause maybe some riffraff, in the inner squad, in the locker room. And then 2, it can be a total, momentum killer. If you have a guy that's making shots, but it's his turn to sit down.
I get that.
That's where the strategic use of it comes into play.
I will say though, if I'm on game 2 and it's 6-2, we're winning, I could use a guy. I could use a guy for a couple of possessions, and maybe I'm watering him back in. So I think a strategic sub play.
They're allowed to do that.
They're allowed.
Totally.
They don't.
I don't think we did that last time.
They don't go away game by game. We got to get these guys minutes. You're allowed to. If you need a quick breather, come out for a play. You're allowed to do that. That's the benefit of a sub. So can't talk too much about that because we're going to be running out of time and studio time. So we can't get you on commercial. So we're going to go to Team 1, and it's. Here we are, we're the MVP of the league.
I think it's the most interesting team in the league.
It's such an
Could be the most interesting team of. Did you say the league or the league?
The league?
I think it could be the most interesting team in the league of the year.
So we got Tyler Bachman, clear MVP front runner.
What else do you want to say about Tyler Rockland?
We don't.
We might as well skip over because I think he's probably tired of hearing that.
But we got Luke.
He's never tired.
We got Luke Damia, who these two. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Like when you have
roll.
It's not even that. It's more like you got 2 lockdown defenders. One's guarding Drew, one's guarding whoever. One's guarding Tyler, one's guarding Vaughn, you're saying. One's guarding John or Ryan or Luke, whoever. Like you have 2 guys who are just gonna be pests on you defensively. And you got Cole, who's a good defender.
Yeah.
You got Jack,
Sneaky good defender.
good defender. You got Jack, who's built
Athletic,
to post,
big.
athletic,
Yep.
and then and if Jack's hitting shots, you have all these attention on these 2 guys. You have all these attention on Luke driving, kicking it to Tyler, pick and roll, whatever. And if Jack's hitting shots like he has been, you can't help off him anymore. And people have been, and he's making them pay. Now, the question is, the rumor is that the one-on-one for the All-Star Week is a Jack versus Cole.
It's a primetime matchup.
Is that going to cause tension?
That's what I've been saying all week.
Together?
That's what I've been saying all week. it's gonna be one of those moments when we're gonna have Cole in the corner and Hammer's gonna be closing out. He's gonna have an open look, and then Jack he's gonna have the better look on the wing. Who's gonna let it fly? I'm really interested to see where those go.
It's a sneaky good defensive team. Obviously, we're star heavy. Jack and Cole can really play defense. I mean, I had tough time getting out of my bathroom this morning because Luke Naughton was right there. Like I can't get around it.
On that note, they're in my ear saying we got to go to commercials. Any quick points before we end?
I don't think so.
I'm really interested to see. I think this is definitely Tyler Bachman's. Worst isn't a good word at all. I think everybody here is very capable. But
Most challenging.
This is probably the most challenging supporting cast he's had so far. Challenging might be a worse word.
Wait till they go 6.
Challenging.
Don't worry about it.
So I'm really interested to see, MVP guy. Can he, maybe kind of act like the post Kyrie, Cavs teams with LeBron, and drag a bunch of talented guys, maybe not some big time names, to a 6-2, 7-2 kind of record.
Yeah, if I could add something too about Tyler's team, now I'm thinking about it, it's gonna be interesting to see how they go about their offensive approach. You don't really have Jack's probably their best screener on ball. Jack's kind of turned into more of like a pick and pop than he is like a roller. He's not like a John Scott roll when you gotta tag him on the help side. Like he's becoming the pick and pop guy. So it's gonna be interesting to see because Namina is really, really good getting to the rack.
Yeah.
Not as great. He's a good spot up shooter. He doesn't really take many off the dribble threes. And then Cole is kind of like, his offensive rebounder. He kind of finds those in-between shots, those little floaters, those push shots, some open threes here and there. But he finds shots. It's just going to be interesting to see how they're going to go about attacking defenses, especially big defenses.
100%. I was really interesting to see, I was on Tyler and Cole's team last week. Tyler didn't have, his best shooting week. It seemed like Cole just always running the basket right.
Yeah, it's always in the right spot.
And throwing back
in the right spot.
So,
no one tips the ball out like Cole Hager does.
100%.
Nobody.
Well, that is all the time we have on SYL TV. I'm Adam Murphy.
Chaz.
Cat.
T-Bach.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
Cat, for
Thanks for
joining
having
us.
us. Appreciate it. I'll check in, tune in out soon, tomorrow afternoon, maybe Wednesday morning. The Cat's Fast 2 minutes. You know where to find us.
And vote.
Sponsored by Agri-Pro.
Also, we
Sorry.
got All-Star
Can't be
game,
sponsored.
we got 3-point contest, and we got the one-on-one matchups you want to see. Please vote on those.
One more thing, new TikTok page. SYL Hoops, 16,000 followers.
How did we get that many? We got 57 of these.
The marketing had to have been unbelievable.
We got to run the game.
We
60,000
definitely didn't
followers.
pay for this. Definitely didn't.
Let's make it 20 here in the next week. How about it?
Pleasure.